Tour of Germany Queen stage. Isaac Del Toro on the attack in rainy conditions. Louis Barret caught out of position. Pellizzari bridging across. We had a really nice stage, actually. 3,000 meters plus elevation gain, punchy hills, longer climbs in the first part of the stage. They weren't televised, but from all reports, they were pushed quite hard. The Kalmit climb, 5Ks at 7%, and then we have repetitions of about 2Ks, 6% towards the finish in Bad Dürkheim. In the Gesamtwertung, Louis Barret was 6 seconds ahead of Isaac Del Toro going to the stage. Ciccone on 18 seconds, so very small margins between the podium. The Wetter was wetter, 18 degrees in August, and very, very rainy. Wet roads when TV coverage started. Nelson Oliveira, who's only on 40 seconds in GC up the road, so Kelderman controlling for the leader, Louis Barret. And we saw the heavens open in between the climbs. So we're now between the longer climbs and then the punchy hills near the finish with 60 k's to go. We saw Carlos Verona had taken a point at the KOM, so that was more an indication that it had clearly been hard if he was pacing behind the two guys up the road. And here we see Nils Pollitt and Antonio Morgado speaking. The UAE team were around Del Toro. There was more numbers from them today, and he gets onto the radio, so they were clearly hatching a plan and what they were going to do into a key climb, which was about 35 k's to go. Louis Barret in that blue leader's jersey. And here we see Langen pacing, then it's Pollitt, Morgado, Del Toro into the Rothsteig, 1600 meters, 8%, quite steep at the start. And Barret and Visma make a big mistake here. Lemon squeezes Barret off the wheel of Del Toro. Barret gets pinched, and then the lead out of UAE gets to the right-hand side of the road, closing off Little Trek, and Barret gets shuffled back. He's then pinched by Tudor on the left, and then in this corner, there's probably like 8 riders eventually in the corner exit between him and Del Toro, and UAE are doing a classics style lead out. Pollitt launching it. They're both classics riders. Pollitt has been podium Roubaix. Morgado has been 4th or 5th in the Tour of Flanders. He does a classic style lead out. So even though it's not narrow like the classics, the wet conditions exacerbated the elastic effect going into the corner when they stretched it, UAE, and then they get a split here. You see Ciccone pull out of the line. There's a gap created. Barret's trying to jump across, but he's trying to jump across whilst Morgado's doing a full gas lead out on a 9% gradient. Lemon starts to try to bridge back, but the damage might have already been done for Louis Barret. Hirschi in his wheel, who was around the podium in GC, possibly going into it at the end of this stage. Trek not there to help, and that's the problem. If Barret gets dropped here, it's very unlikely with Ciccone dropped that Trek are going to pace with Sobrero for Vacek. And so Barret tries to bridge across, very, very explosive, trying to get back to the wheel, maybe too explosive, gets to within 10 meters, but doesn't get back to the wheel, and Del Toro cracks him here as it levels off and goes to about 6%. When then Giulio Pellizzari, who just waited, he's accepted the 2-3 minutes. He also didn't enter in great position. He then makes it a more of a 5-minute, 6-minute effort. And Del Toro, yes, he slows down, but Barret cracked completely. So he's brought back by the group behind. Pellizzari goes across, and he's so far out of GC, and he's friends with Del Toro, that they have mutual interests. Del Toro's going to ride full for the stage, or the GC rather, and Pellizzari's no GC threat to him, and Pellizzari's going to ride full for the stage win after his teammate Magagnotti won the day before. They get across to Nelson Oliveira. He obviously doesn't pull, and he's hoping they tow him to maybe a GC podium result themselves, and so it's 2 of the strongest guys in the race. They're also not 60-kilo climbers. They're bigger climbers, Pellizzari and Del Toro. They're pulling on up and down terrain, relaying full gas against Hraat and Lemon, who got dropped in that climb and who are a bit smaller. So the gap goes to 1 minute 05 on the first of the 5-minute climbs. We see complete disarray in the chase group. Bergado attacking, Hirschi following him, Barret trying to get some sort of group going that might cooperate. But if you attack and it doesn't work and doesn't stick, the problem is you've dropped your teammates, and then the others are also going to be pretty wary to cooperate with you after. So it goes down to like 40 seconds. and then it just goes up again because the group behind is riding a stop-start pace while the two in front are riding, just relaying full gas. And we see the last repetition of that climb. There's the bonus seconds on top as well. There's still 2 seconds available to the group behind, and Bahrain enters in bad position again. She attacks with Bergado, and Bahrain tries to bridge across to them, but it goes down to like 35 seconds on that climb. And Movistar are pulling for Tesfazion, trying to get him onto the podium perhaps in GC, or at least bring back Hirschi, who's a threat for the podium. Goes down to 32 seconds, but then we see, they're obviously not bringing back the front duo. So masterclass from Del Toro and UAE, caught Bahrain out of position in the wet into that key corner, launched it classic style, went on with it. Fortunate that Pellizzari came across, and then those two worked perfectly together, both getting what they wanted out of the stage. Pellizzari winning, Del Toro taking a pretty much unassailable GC lead. Hirschi snuck away, and he held on to then be within 12 seconds of Bahrain in GC, so an important move from him for the podium. And then the larger group came behind with Schachmann, Senna-Romain, Raccagni, Tesfazion, Aldani, Morgado, Bergado, and Flory and Stork. So pretty entertaining Queen stage. Here's what Pellizzari had to say.
Giulio Pellizzari, all smiles. I suppose it must mean a lot for you to win this Queen stage of the little Deutschland Tour, especially in front of Mr. Isaac Del Toro.
Yeah, I mean, today super day. Yesterday we were super happy of Magagnotti's win. So today we wanted to do again, and it was perfect day to do.
But not an easy day, because you suffered on the climbs, you suffered under the rain, and still you managed to be the best.
Yeah, I mean, we were in the perfect position. When Isaac went, I just took my tempo, and then in the end I came back. We had super good collaboration. He was going for GC, I was going for the stage, and then we tried to do our best, and then we are just super happy.
It was the battle of the 22s. You're both 22. Isaac is 22, born in November, the 21st and the 26th, so you're very close. But it's important to beat him to show that you're the oldest.
Yeah, I mean, we are super friends, me and Isaac. Of course, during the race we have a good battle, so I always say to him, we are friends 1 centimeter before the finish line. From there we are friends, and then I'm super happy that now he's leader in GC. Tomorrow is still one day. We will try with Alessio, but I think it's perfect day for me, Isaac, and for all San Marino.
In die Gesamtwertung Volafigas, Del Toro takes a 52-second lead on Bahrain because you got stage win bonies on top of the last climb. Hirschi moves into third, 16 seconds ahead of Raccagni, Noviero, Tesfazion fifth. And what happened in the final stage? We still got a punchy circuit. I'll let you know tomorrow when I get around to making the video. Ciao, ciao.